things. Okay. Special cubes or cubes of binomials. And you can actually turn to page 167 and copy down the rule later. But right now on page 168, yeah, it's lagging. We'll do number 8. So you know that this is a special cube because there's this beautiful cube right here. There's a beautiful cube right here. It's still lagging, but right there. Okay? And it's a binomial because there's only 2 terms. You know there's 2 terms because there's just one plus or minus sign right here. Right there. That means that xy is one term and 3 is another term. So what you want to do, you want to give yourself space. You're going to start by writing down the 4 magic numbers. 1, 3, 3, and 1. You're going to space it out as much as you can across your page because you're going to need it all. And I'm just trying to zoom out so you can see I left some space back here behind that last 1. Alright, so that's the first thing you do. The magic numbers are always 1, 3, 3, 1. Now you take your first term, which is in front. It's xy. And you write it in parentheses after every number. So you had the 1, 3, 3, 1, and now after 1, 3, 3, and 1, you need the first term. In this case, it's xy. You need parentheses. Then you go back to the front, and you just count down. 3, 2, 1, 0. It's very lagging. Okay? And now you take your last term, which is the 3. And you put it in parentheses after the first term, which was the xy. So we had the 1, 3, 3, 1. Then we had our first term, xy, 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 xy. And then we counted down the exponents, 3, 2, 1, 0. And then we took our third term, or sorry, our last term, our second term, 3, 3, 3, 3. And then we're going to count down the exponents, but we're going to start in the back. 3, 2, 1, 0. So the first term is written everywhere, but you start in the front and you count down from 3 for the exponents, 3, 2, 1, 0. The last term is written everywhere, but you start in the back and you count down 3, 2, waiting for the lag, 1, 0. And now if this is a minus sign, you start off with a minus sign, and then you switch it to a plus, and then you switch it to a minus. So if this is a minus right here, it's minus, plus, minus. If this is a plus, by the way, it's just plus, plus, plus. Okay? Do we all have this copied down? Because now we have to do math. All right. So we got to do PEMDAS, ladies and gentlemen. Let's start with the numbers. What is 3 to the 0 power? 1. 1 times 1? 1. We're not going to write it. And then xy cubed, we can actually distribute the cube because there is no plus or minus. So we have x cubed, y cubed. Okay, that's the first term. I took care of it. Now over here, what's 3 to the first power? It's 3. And what's 3 times negative 3? Negative 9. And then we look at the variables. We have x squared, y squared. And we took care of the second term. 3 squared is 9. 9 times 3 is 27. X to the first, y to the first is just xy. Sorry for the lag. And so that was the third term. And then finally, we're going to have a minus sign. 3 cubed is 27. 27 times 1 is 27. And then xy to the 0 power is just 1. So we don't need to write it. This is negative 1 times 27, which is just negative 27. And that's your answer. Let's do one more, because it's just the same thing over and over again. Let's call it letter alpha. Remember, that's a swimming fish. And let's make it a little bit simpler. How about a plus 4 cubed? Alright, so we see the cubed. That means we write down our magic numbers, spread them out. 1, 3, 3, 1. Then we take our first term, put it in parentheses, A. And then we count down, 3, 2, 1, 0. Then we take our last term, which is 4, and we write it everywhere. And then we count down from the back. 3, 2, 1, 0. So nothing is different from the previous problem. And then this is plus, so everything's plus. Okay? And then start. 4 to the 0 is 1. 1 times 1 is 1. A cubed is A cubed. Plus, 4 to the first is 4. 4 times 3 is 12. A squared is A squared. Plus. 4 squared is 16. 16 times 3 is 48. A to the first is A. And then finally, plus, 4 cubed is 64. 64 times 1 is 64. A to the 0 is 1. So we don't need to write it. And that's your answer. Save those steps for later, because you'll practice some. Sorry for the